Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one for you today. Lots of news. Just finishing the Bitcoin conference here in Miami, 2021. Definitely the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world. More people than I've ever seen in my life. I want to thank everybody tuned in for the quick live stream. If you haven't seen that, you can go watch it. It's only about 15 minutes just to give you guys like an inside peek at what the conference was actually like, because I thought that was important to share that with you guys. So let's get down to it. We got a lot of news to go over, and this is only some of it, but let's look at the prices really quickly. The market is at 1.6 trillion plus right now for the market cap of cryptocurrency collectively. And listen, I just want to say, I think we're going to look at something today before we go any further. I think we're going to look at something today that shows that there is a huge signal that we are on track for XRP to really become a neutral bridge asset for all the world's money. Don't believe it. I think it's still true. All right, we're looking here. Bitcoin is just sitting over $36,000 right now. Ethereum sitting just over $2,600. And coming down here, Cardano sitting at $1.67, up 20.75% on the 7-day. And we're looking at the number 7 spot for XRP. 93 cents is where we're sitting right now, which has actually come up a couple pennies. We were at 91 cents before I started pulling this info together for the video. We're up 15.49% on the 7-day and off by 5.6% on the 24-hour. Yes, we have been seeing a rollover in price, and it has been that consolidation kind of movement that we've had over the last couple weeks building now. But all of the technical analysts and the experts that we follow, who I believe really are amazing at what they do, have told us that we are still on target for all of those upward price movements of 270 plus and new all-time highs above 384, and $5, $9, $13, $27 price targets are all still in play. It's just we've been doing this sideways rollover price consolidation movement, and that's going to be what it's going to be until it isn't, right? So we're going to have to keep watching that. Right now we see the range was as low as 91 cents. We're ranging up from on the top end to 99 cents. So we haven't even had $1 here today. Let's go ahead and get started. This first one's from Wrath of Conman. You should follow Wrath of Conman. He says, documenting the Flare airdrop. Now, are you ready for Flare? Because it could be any time this month or shortly thereafter, according to the most recent information that I'm aware of from Hugo and Flare Networks. I am extremely excited. If you're not aware and you're new to the space, Flare Networks is a utility fork of the XRP ledger. This really, in combination with Flare Finance, will help to bring an enormous amount of utility to the network and to the system via the Spark token and XRP, and in doing so, bring a level of utility to this asset and this market that we have yet to really see. That is certainly my hope for it, and shout out to them. But he says here, according to Flare and Hugo, he lays out in this video, the initial Spark airdrop will occur at no value. Now, if you're not aware, the initial airdrop will be 15% of your 100% that will be delivered, and every month thereafter will be a 3% issuance, if I understand it correctly. So he says here, the first 15% will occur at no value, and out of it, you will make a payment of Flare to purchase the remaining 85%. So the lot is purchased at $0. Now, I like the sound of that. We'll see how this unfolds, but I like the sound of that. No tax implication for the airdrop is what I'm looking for. And to stretch out the airdrop month to month really helps to keep the network from being spammed and things of that nature, or scalped for arbitrage trading and things of that. So I think this is really going to be interesting to watch this unfold. Again, shout out to Hugo and the Flare Networks, Flare Finance team. This is about Flare Finance from XRP Crypto Wolf Hall of Famer here. He says DeFi integrates Binance Smart Chain. More and more interoperability happening right here. And who doesn't like to see that? Again, as a utility fork in Flare Finance, a system built on top of Flare Networks, I think this is just going to bring more and more opportunity for people to get rewards, obviously through the interoperability, and participate in multiple different networks and offerings. So looking at this right here, we see Ripple partner dLocal has now been listed on the NASDAQ after successfully raising $617 million with their U.S. IPO. My, oh my. I'm going to tell you something. That's exciting to me because one of the things I think about is that, these companies that are associated with Ripple know what they're going through with this SEC case, and they don't back down. I don't know of anyone that's a customer that said, you know what, we're out of here. If anything, they've continued to pick up partnerships. Now, has that slowed the level of growth? I'm sure that it has. From getting a new customer, sure, I'm sure it's created reservation. I wouldn't be foolish to say otherwise. But the reality is they still do gain people to the system while this has been going on. And look, how much longer can this go? Long term, what are we looking at? August, September, October at the latest. This case will have an end. And I do believe that Ripple and XRP will come out better for it. Let's take a look here. Texas governor signs a law creating legal framework for cryptocurrency investments. Look, Wyoming's been out front, right? We see Texas getting into the game. Nebraska's getting into the game. There's a lot of Nevada's big in getting into the game. Remember Blockchain LLC out in Nevada from a couple years ago? I mean, they're building like a brand new Silicon Valley in the Nevada region, if my memory serves me correctly there. They're supposed to be doing a huge sector for crypto and blockchain there. So this is from XRP Crypto Wolf says, Ripple is seeking to force the SEC to disclose why it came to the conclusion that Bitcoin and Ether are commodities, but think differently for XRP. Listen, I have to say, I've had some great conversations with a lot of people in this space, and this is like one of the main things that we always keep coming back to is the SEC. We know for a fact, we've seen plenty of videos. I know Digital Asset Investor, shout out to him. I know that he has put out incredible videos of a collage of different clips that really just show you flat out that there's no way that the SEC could ever prove that Bitcoin and Ethereum really are not securities. I mean, they don't have the information. If you look at the information that's out here, and I'll just quickly say, we've heard Vitalik say it on film that they had an ICO and they did a fundraise as an ICO, right? They tried to avoid and skate the U.S. regulation, and he said it out of his own mouth. So, we know with Bitcoin that, sure, at the early stages, you could use this to get a coffee somewhere that accepted it. But at the end of the day, what's the real deal is if you're buying it and holding it for it to gain in value, there is an expectation of profit off of others that mine and control the transactions and validations of that network. Like it, lump it. That's the truth. That's a problem on the Howey test, right? So you could say that about a lot of things. And I think, having Gary Gensler at the SEC could lean into the idea that a good portion of the market could fall under a digital asset security platform or finding or issuance or however you want to say it. Not everything, but a good portion. We'll have to see how this shakes out. Here we see more information on that topic. And this is, again, look at the arrogance of the SEC here. Ripple files motion to compel the SEC, refuses to turn over internal Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP documents. Judge Netburn twice told them to turn over. Not a single document has been produced. Judge Netburn will not be pleased. Thank you to James K. Filan for that one. And I tell you, I think he's nailing it right here. Again, this to me shows that the SEC's back is up against the wall. They cannot prove these documents to be in support of their decisions that were made. And that's the problem here. We already have public information and public videos. Joseph Grunfest, formerly from the SEC, explained how Bitcoin is in fact the way I explained to you, an expectation of profits in the description I gave. So I digress. This is getting interesting. And I feel like with the recent motion that was denied to the SEC, the fact that the SEC is now pushing for an extension of 60 days and the reality that they won't turn over the documents that they've been ordered to more than 2 times now, this to me is really showing that this thing's coming to a head. That's where this thing's coming. It's coming to a head, and I can't wait. I want it to be settled, and I don't expect Ripple to get every single little thing out of this. I do believe that this case largely is about the escrow and who remains the steward of that XRP escrow. And in fact, if it is Ripple, do they remain the steward of 100% of the escrow release when it comes out every month? We will see where this goes. Maybe it's nothing, maybe it's something. What we do know is that the G7 central bankers, finance ministers discussed stable coins and central bank digital currencies at their latest meeting. Now, what do you suppose they did that for? Well, I think I might have something for you here. Hang tight, because I think we're going to find out what they might have done it for. For those of you that have been in the space, you remember this little video of Ross Lacow from the IMF Deputy General Counsel sitting on stage with Brad Garlinghouse back in 2018. And they were asked what it would take for the IMF to hold a cryptocurrency. Listen to this very, very candid interaction here from Brad Garlinghouse and Ross Lacow from the IMF. And then I am about to tell you some news that just came down the pipe that may well support the notion that the IMF may be getting that pass to be able to put crypto on its books. Take a listen.
Go for it. The first one's for you. IMF. Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? I did not put that up there.
Remember, I'm from the legal department. I'm supposed to be very conservative about these things. I don't want to go into great details about
Maybe
the IMF.
I should take what the IMF is going to do.
The reality is what he says in there in that clip, and shout out to PhDJ for that clip. But what he goes on to say in that clip is that simply, in order for the IMF to hold cryptocurrency, a nation themselves, a country, would have to really begin to adopt a cryptocurrency as their legal tender. Take a look at this. It was announced today that El Salvador looks to become the world's first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Come on in. If this goes through, to me, there's no reason to misunderstand this or understand this in my mind in any other way, that this opens the door for the IMF to enter the cryptocurrency world if, in fact, El Salvador does become the world's first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Think about that implication right there. That would be massive. And then you see this was put out too today by Ripple, the standardization solution to frictionless payments. Yeah, all the money. That's what this is about. I'm not going to read this because you don't need to, because the reality is you know what it's for. They're sitting here today, regardless of that case, understanding what it would take for the IMF to get in the cryptocurrency game, understanding that we have covered many, many different videos for which you can find in the playlist in the search section of my channel, where you put in IMF and you will find many, many different videos we've covered where the IMF has PDF files talking about how RippleNet could be used, how Ripple and XRP could be used for cross-border payments and settlement. Knowing if El Salvador solidifies that movement, that it could really be the key moment that allows the IMF to come into cryptocurrency and really make an international position on something like XRP. And why wouldn't they? After all, Ripple is piloting a private ledger for central banks to launch their digital dollars. Isn't that what this is all about? I tell you, this is getting really interesting. I don't know, but this is getting really, really interesting. I want to say to you guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to I Trust Capital. The fam is amazing. I had a blast catching up with each and every one of you guys. It is the best crypto, gold, silver IRA on the planet, bar none. Lots of different choices on that platform. Make sure you check out that and all the links in the description box in the comment section. And remember, more importantly, they are trusted, vetted links. I'll catch all of you on the next one.